Here, let's watch this.
And finally, new rule, since this is our last show of the season and our Thanksgiving show, I'd like to start tonight by giving thanks this year to Donald Trump and all the loons, Karens, Kool-Aid drinkers, D-list celebrities, and unqualified weirdos he put up for office who scared some sense into America on Election Day.
I can't wait to, like, not agree with Bill Maher on an issue that we might even end up agreeing on because he takes the absolute worst lesson from something, okay? Literally every fucking time I watch a Bill Maher video, it's like we should agree, but you're such an asshole. And you're so on the wrong side of an argument that you should be on the right side of, like that I can't even come to agreement with you.
And thus made this holiday season so much brighter for me and millions of other Americans. Thank you, Republican douchebags, class of 22.
I don't understand the appeal of Bill Maher. Is it just old people? I mean, he's like, he's for rich, whiny, out-of-touch, elitist liberals and Republicans. He is in many respects, the perfect commentator for people who think that, like, the New York Times op-ed section has a diversity of thought. Neoliberals on the left, or not left, but like left towards the Overton window and where the Overton window is, and neoliberals on the right, elitist, bi-coastal, annoying boomers who call themselves moderates. The New York Times subscribers, you know, that's it. That's who this motherfucker appeals to.
Thank you, Doug Mastriano and Tudor Dixon and Carrie Lake and Blake Masters and all the other election deniers who ran for Secretary of State and governor in swing states and lost, which was almost all of them. And thanks to decent Republicans like Brad Raffensperger, who defied Trump and won. The deniers lost and the defiers won. And America showed the world that the reports of our death were slightly exaggerated. We went from goddamn America to goddamn America. Maybe we're not quite as crazy as we look. Republicans showed they could dump their baggage, and independents showed they could actually be independent. Usually they're just closet Republicans, but this year they did what they never do in midterms. They came out in droves for the party in power and told the party that ran on a platform of fuck elections, go fuck yourselves.
Oh, God. Bill Maher is the type of liberal that, like, makes me wish for a fucking red wave, dude. I swear to God. Holy shit. He's so cringe. He's so painfully cringe.
Surprises you with its ability to revert back to sane. We saw it when we elected the first black president. We saw it with the acceptance of gay marriage and with the end of disco. We saw it when we ended prohibition and segregation and stopped allowing doctors to smoke during surgery. One day we may even stop making comic book movies. Sure, we're a country that chose to deliberately eat Tide Pods, but...
God, he's such a fucking boomer, dude. Yo, is there a person that's writing in the Bill Maher comedy room that's like under the age of 73? There can't be, right? Like, he almost had it with the fucking Marvel movies, you know, shitting on Marvel. Easy dub, okay? Everybody agrees with it. If you want to be, like, at least a little bit fucking, a little bit, like, controversial, you could just do that, okay? It's not even. I think it's the entry point, right? But then turning around and immediately doing the fucking Tide Pod joke is like, okay, well, you...
Our friend Jonathan here noted on 60 Minutes that the extremists are only about 7 to 8% on both sides, and yet they get 90% of the media attention.
Dog, you literally do that. What the fuck? Maybe time for some self-reflection. This homie just said extremists on both sides. Half the shit that he covers is literally just like a random 18-year-old in college yelled at a professor for a microaggression. Let's make that national news. People who are studying gender theory in their freshman year in college can't even fucking sneeze without Bill Maher knowing about it and covering it, okay? And making it the most important problem. This is exactly how the fucking left is. This is how extremist they are. God forbid, like, some liberal arts university with like 11 fucking students has a moment where, like, one of the fucking students is like, hey, I didn't like that you said the N-word, professor. Oh my God.
All the normal Republicans who stepped up last week, great beginning. Let's keep it going. Don't stay silent about insanity.
Oh, here it is. This is literally the Nancy Pelosi, we need a strong and normal Republican take. There it is. I was waiting. I was like, when is he going to cut through the annoying bullshit fucking boomer humor and get to the heart of the story, which is the part where I will definitely disagree with. And here it is.
Call out this conspiracy stuff. Marginalize the people who believe in crisis actors.
Yeah, let's get back to business as usual. You know what I mean? Where we have immigration detention centers, where like we are still, annoying about trans people and we are spreading harmful narratives about that shit, but like not to a degree that it's offensive to my audience. Okay, how many times has this motherfucker done the teenage trans surgery narrative shit? Okay. It's just like, I want to be civil when I'm talking about constantly and consistently teenage genitals, okay? That's what I want. Bill Maher. I'm Bill Maher, and this is what I want.
And who think Democrats eat babies or run pedophile rings. Jewish space lasers? I don't even know what a Jewish space laser is. But I know even Kyrie Irving doesn't believe in it.
Not bad. Not bad. That's a decent joke.
We all need to call out the people of bad faith on both sides who pretend things they know are not true. Like voter fraud, it's been studied 1 million times. It doesn't exist. There just aren't hordes of people showing up in gray-haired wigs pretending to be dead people. Voting twice, it's hard enough to vote once. Okay, you admit that, and liberals will admit that getting a picture ID is not a Herculean burden that minorities can't manage like everybody else.
Wait, what? That's quite... No, dude, that is the point. The point is, it is hard. That is the reason why they want to do the fucking voter ID shit. So they can stop people from... Bro, you just literally said... He just said, like, stop... Voting is not easy, okay? He just admitted that. And then he turns around and he's like, let's make it harder. I don't have an issue with voter ID. If we have universal ID. Countries that have voter ID have universal ID. Turkey is one of them. You don't just have to get a driver's license. You have like a social security number, a universal ID that you get for free. If you have a free universal ID system, then yeah, sure, that's fine. What the fuck? Americans don't have IDs? Yes. In the United States of America, there are plenty of people who don't have fucking IDs. Why? Because IDs are licenses. The form of identification that you have in most states is just a fucking driver's license. And on top of that, it costs money and time that you usually don't fucking have. Not many people could just like take time out of their fucking day to go and wait for like 2.5 hours in the middle of the fucking day to go and get an ID. It's psychotic, I know. And also on top of that, you need transportation to be able to go and get the ID itself. And this is like mind-boggling to people, right? I assume you're like shocked. You're like, what? Americans don't have fucking like regular IDs? Like everybody just doesn't have an ID? No, motherfucker. Also, in order to even get it, you need transportation. Everything is far from each other, and there's no public transportation. So what the fuck are you supposed to do if you're poor, if you're dead broke, okay, and you're working every goddamn day? It's a one-time thing, not hard to find 2 hours. Bro, it is, though. It is. We're talking about everyone. We're talking about, like, a thing that will impact every single person. You, in your fucking Connecticut McMansion that your parents worked for, are not going to be able to comprehend how hard it is because you already have a busted-down, beat-up Honda Civic that your older brother gave you that you can use to drive around everywhere and smoke the most mid-fucking weed in secrecy. That's the difference. You're just saying, not for you. Not for me, it isn't. That's not how this works. That's not how we cut policy. We don't cut policy for Twitch watching NEETs. We're cutting policy. When we're talking about policy, we're talking about like the poorest person, the person in the worst condition overall. That's how you're supposed to cut policy. Notice how, if a country's like a team or a family, you're only as strong as the weakest link. You're supposed to be working towards that. You're supposed to be making sure that the person with the least will still be able to get these basic amenities.
Stop saying Democrats eat babies, and we'll stop saying men can have them.
This is quite literally Bill Maher doing the thing that he was earlier in the conversation shitting on. The idea that can men get pregnant, trans men can get pregnant. It is so insanely irrelevant and so marginal that spending more than 3.5 seconds on this beyond just saying, yeah, trans men could get pregnant technically. not many of them are interested in doing so for obvious reasons, because you would have to get off HRT, okay, specifically, if you want to do so, is just such an insanely unimportant part of the conversation. These motherfuckers are trying to cut articles all the time. First of all, even if every trans man on the fucking planet was like, I want to get pregnant, who gives a fuck? I thought the point was the point was like increasing the birth rate. Oh my God, that's a big problem. Why the fuck is it all of a sudden an issue when it's a trans person doing it? And also, that's number one. And number two, literally, who gives a fuck? There's like 3 people on the planet that have done this, okay? And every single one of them has had an article written about it. I'm sorry, I'm not having a conversation about this. It is so fucking beyond the pale stupid to be like, oh, a trans man can get pregnant, trans man can't get pregnant. It's like, who gives a fuck? I hate it. It's always so silly and so stupid. A lot of these places are either A, correcting the record on shit, or B, just writing articles because they have a million things to write articles on. They're trying to make money, so they're just writing articles about this shit. This does not dictate anything, okay? It's so silly. It's such a silly thing to just like lose your mind over, dude. It's not that you can't have kids. It's recommended to get off like an all medication, lower birth defects, but always talk to your doctor anyways. Like, there isn't this fucking... First of all, there aren't that many trans people in general, okay? With respect to the rest of the population, there aren't that many trans people, okay? We're just talking about raw numbers, okay? And percentages. But then also on top of that, there is an increasingly, insanely smaller percentage of the already small number of trans people out there that are like, I'm a trans man, but I want to be pregnant. Like, that's crazy. That's crazy. That's crazy to just like fucking talk about this as though it's like literally an issue. Like, who cares? Why the fuck do you care? What is it to you? The only reason why you would ever bring this up is because you are desperately seeking for like things that your audience finds cringe or bad or crazy about the left, and you really can't do the normal shit that every leftist is like actually fucking yelling about, like universal health care, making the cost of insulin be $0 fucking dollars at the point of purchase for, you know, people with diabetes, or I don't know, adequate social security, adequate social safety nets, affordable housing. These are the things that leftists are extreme about, motherfucker. That's what most people are talking about. Even trans people are not like, oh man, we really got to fucking be ride or die on, you know, correcting the record on whether trans men can get pregnant or not. They can. They absolutely can. But it doesn't even fucking matter. It's not even a point of conversation. If you were to ask trans people, like, what do you care about more? The fact that, like, people should know that you have the capability of getting pregnant if you're a trans man, okay? If you're an AFAB trans man, or the fact that, like, if you were to get pregnant, it would cost you $30,000 minimum. I'm pretty sure all trans people would be like, no, I think we should talk about the cost of the healthcare instead of the fucking fact that trans men could get pregnant. It's so stupid. It's so dumb. As a trans man who knows some of the intricacies of trans male pregnancy, yeah, I really care a lot more about the medical bills. Yeah. Thinking that trans men are hyper obsessed with becoming pregnant instead of, like, you know, being able to pay for their fucking surgeries, or when they get sick, be able to go to the doctor, or even, you know, more like trans specific things like not being victim to fucking violence and dehumanization every step of the fucking way, is literally idiotic. Of course, that's what trans men and trans women and trans people in general care about significantly more than like whether or not some trans men are going to want to be pregnant at some point, which literally is so insignificant.
Stop denying the ice caps are melting, and we'll stop asking you to disband ICE.
Yeah, no, ICE, big necessity. Goddamn. You know, created in 2001, big need for that. Before 2001, everybody knows, I mean, holy shit. Immigrants were coming in and doing crimes, and everyone was like, oops, can't do anything about that. It's so stupid, dude. Oh, God. Motherfucker said, if you stop denying the ice caps are melting, you know, if you stop denying that global warming is a real fucking problem impacting every single person, we'll stop advocating for good, smart things. Like the disbanding of an agency that is purely just the Gestapo.
Stop saying there's a war on Christmas, and we'll admit Kwanzaa's completely made up.
Damn, immediately panning to the black person there. That's okay. Unlike Christmas, which is not made up. They literally panned to the black woman there. That's wild.
Keep a lid on
God, liberals are so fucking
the Proud
unhinged.
Boys, and we'll see what we can do about Kanye. All right.
Only reason why. I wonder why he says Kanye West is a liberal. I wonder why he thinks Kanye West is a liberal, even though he's like gonna run on the conservative platform a second time now. Yeah, someone in the chat said urban. Exactly. The type of person to say like, oh yeah, he's urban. Exactly, dude.